Hello friends. So this is our sixth and the last one, Deep Water by William O. Douglas. Now you have seen that how determined he was, the misadventure he had at the YMCA pool, swimming pool. Before that, the California incident when he was with his father. The waves overpowered him. One tragic experience with water, then second one, the misadventure. Then he speaks about those horrible days when he is unable to enjoy water sports. He says ruined everything. Canoeing pleasure, swimming pleasure, fishing pleasure, walking or wading through water. None of these he could experience or enjoy. Finally, he got an instructor, and the instructor step by step built a swimmer of him, and he started swimming. Still, some residues of that fear left. And that's up to that we have come. So now let's look at these words very simply. In miniature means in small size. When you are printing the picture of a person, usually you do that portrait of a person. Usually you do that in miniature, means the small size of that person. Residual means what is remaining. Whatever you do, the residual fear of a nightmare will remain. Nightmare, terrible dreams. Walk the trails, walk the path. Many people walk the trails of tragedy before they are purified in life. And brush aside means, ignore. Wise men ignore insults on them. They don't care about it. And now we come to the main points today. I had conquered my fear of water. That is the end point. And now before that we have got a quote from President Roosevelt. He says that all we have to fear is fear itself, nothing more. Caesar referring to death, he said, cowards die many times, but the valiant dies only once. The cowards, they die of fear of death. But Julius Caesar said, and you might have come across John Donne. He has written a poem, Death, Be Not Proud. So there are people who don't fear death, who have no fear of anything. Actually, we are always living in the fear of fear. That's why we become anxious, we become neurotic. Some people suffer from some neurological disorders and so on. It's because of the fear of fear. So you have to be afraid of fear itself, not any other thing. And then we come to the triumph and swimming expeditions of Douglas. Douglas says that, Mr. Terror, what do you think you can do with me? So he asked the terror. Once he felt a little bit of terror, then he said, he personified terror and said, Mr. Terror, what do you think you can do with me? You can do nothing with me. So that is called water suggestion. If you want to get rid of certain imbalances in life or fear like this, negative emotions, what do you have to do? You have to give water suggestion. Like that, water suggestion. You make your own suggestion. You teach yourself. You instruct yourself. When you are afraid of something, you say, no, I am not afraid. If you are afraid of devils and witches, you say, no, I am not afraid of devils and witches. Like that. Suggest, that is water suggestion. Okay, so we come to the end of this. So, I went to Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire. Says that I had some residue of that fear left. So I thought that I told you, like a driving car. You learn driving and then you drive different types of vehicles. Then what will happen is that you become perfect in driving. Like that. Not only in the lake, not only in the pool, but go for freelance swimming, so to say. Not guided swimming. Get into a river and try. Get into a lake and try. Like that if you do, all your fear will disappear. So I went to Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire. Dived off a rock at Trix Island and swam 2 miles across the lake to Stamback, Thailand. So these are different places in US. I swam the crawl, different types crawl, breaststroke, side stroke and backstroke. I told you different styles of breaststroke is like this. Then backstroke, this one. So different styles are there. Some people are champions in breaststroke. Some people are in backstroke. Listen, like that. And then you have got a crawl. That's crawling in water. And then side stroke. These are different strokes. I say that only once the terror returns. Still that residue left. When was that? When I was in the middle of the lake, I put my face under and saw nothing but bottomless water. So once I was in the lake, then I put my so opened my eyes and saw bottomless water. Oh God, the terror came back to me. Understand? The old sensation returned in miniature. Miniature means small size. It did not grip me, it did not paralyze me, but in miniature it came. I laughed and said, "Well, Mr. Terror, what do you think you can do to me here?" "Well, Mr. Terror, what do you think you can do to me?" He said, "You cannot do anything." And that is Mr. Auto suggestion. You cannot do anything. What can you do? It fled. It fled, and I swam on. That feeling fled. Then I swam on. Yet I had residual doubts. Again, there doubts. Because it was so deep. You remember that, Almost died. The curtain of his life fell. He lost everything. He was dying. When he opened his eyes, he was lying on his stomach and vomiting water. And people said, the kid was about to die. So a death experience he had. So he had some residual doubts. At my first opportunity, I hurried west. When I was allowed to swim myself without a guide, without instructor, without any help, I hurried west, went up the Titan to Conrad Meadows, up the Conrad Creek Trail to meet glacier, camped in a high meadow by the side of warm lakes. That is, to get into that, getting ready. The next morning, I stripped, dived into the lake, and swam across to the other shore and back, to and fro, just as Douglas Corcoran used to do. Douglas Corcoran also used to do this. He was a great swimmer. So he practiced like Douglas Corcoran. I shouted with joy, and Gilbert Peak returned the echo. The echo. I had conquered my fear of water. I had conquered my fear of water. Determination, perseverance, strong will, the determination to translate the dream into reality. This is what we should learn from this lesson. You should learn all the words, phrases, etc. You should learn how to use them in sentences of your own, and then internalize. Those things are there, but still, what you should carry with you is, in life, is all what you fear is fear itself. And this perseverance of this man, how hard working, just dreaming alone will not. Dreaming, to translate dreams into reality, what you should do is that you should put in effort. You should have perseverance, you should have determination, you should have the will. There is a famous saying, if there is a will, there is a way. That's very true. If there is a will, there is a way. I had conquered my fear of water. The experience had a deep meaning for me. This experience should have a deep meaning for you. This experience should have a deep meaning for me. You may think that, oh sir, now you are very old, what of that? What experience? What are you going to do next? Something of noble note can yet be done. Ulysses says, something of noble note can yet be done. Understand? Don't worry about your old age. Don't worry about anything. Whatever you are, wherever you are, however old you are, something of noble note can yet be done. Noble note, of noble importance. NOTE notes. Something noteworthy. NB, nota bene, means not well. NB, that is the full form. NB. NB. That is Latin, nota bene. Bene means well. Bene, B-E-N-E. Then that's benefactor. See, somebody doing good. Nota means not well, NB. So, you should never say that, oh, I am very old, I cannot do. No, never. Something like Ulysses, you should say that hero. Ulysses. So, you should say something of noble note. That Greek hero. Something of noble note can yet be done. So, I had conquered my fear. The experience had a deep meaning for me. We should also, our experiences should have a deep meaning for us. As only those who have known stark terror. Stark terror means, what you must say? You must say that 100% terror. That is it, 100% terror. And conquered it can appreciate. Only a person who has conquered Everest can say, tell us about the troubles and tribulations that he underwent on his journey to and back, and the sufferings that he had. Other people, there are some people who write travelogues without going anywhere. They sit at home and write travelogues. And they will give titles like this. The Switzerland I saw. The Switzerland I saw. The America I saw. Never gone to America. Of course, today you can do such things because with the help of internet. Yes. So then he says the travels of Israel. In that there is peace. Once you die, there is peace. There is terror only in the fear of death. Another lesson. There is terror only in the fear of death. As Roosevelt knew when he said, all we have to fear is fear itself. All we have to fear is fear itself. And then, as you will know that Roosevelt and Douglas, they were friends. Although he was the President of America, he liked this man and he nominated him to the Supreme Court of US. He served as the associate judge of the court for 36 years and 211 days. Not 1 or 2, 36 years. The longest serving Supreme Court judge he was. When he was just 40, he was nominated. 40 is not a time to get a nomination. Too young. That's the youngest, so to say. Then he continued for 36 years. They were good friends. He trusted him. The president had a trust in him. So the president, he quotes the president. His president, he can say, all we have to fear is fear itself. Because I had experienced both the sensation of dying and the terror that fear of it can produce. The will to live somehow grew in intensity. Two things I experienced. One is experienced the sensation of dying. Vahimsya yatima. Then the other is the terror that fear of it can produce. Fear of death can produce. Fear of death can produce. That's why Caesar said, cowards die many times, but the valiant dies only once. I'm not concerned. Anyway, the shock grew in intensity. At last, I felt released, free to walk the trails, in the paths of swimming, climb the peaks, brush aside fear, ignore fear. Climb the peaks means the best, the first class swimmer, the best swimmer. And I brushed aside fear. Death be not proud. Cowards die many times, but the valiant dies only once. All we have to fear is fear itself. I have conquered my fear of water. The triumphant swimming expeditions. That's what he said. Different places he went, and the triumph of it, he was chewing the cud of it. The victory. Understand? Questions? Give a brief account of the swimming expeditions of Douglas. So we have seen he went to Wentworth Lake, New Hampshire, then dived off a rock at Triggs Island, swam 2 miles across the lake to Starmark Island. I did a lot of things like crawl, breaststroke, side stroke, then backstroke. And then further he says that when I got an opportunity, I hurried west, went up the Titan River. We have seen that to Conrad Meadows, up the Conrad Creek Trail, to meet glacier and camp in the high meadow by the side of the warm lakes. Next morning, I stripped, dived into the lake, etc. And back and forth like Douglas Corpo. So these are the expeditions. What is that we must fear? We must fear only fear itself. Nothing else. Why does Douglas say the will to live grew in intensity? Because he said, I had the sensation of dying and the terror that fear of it can produce. These 2 things. One, I experienced death. Second is, I also experienced the terror that fear can cause in me. Therefore, somehow, my intensity to live grew in me. Understand? And then, you can also ask questions. I told you many questions from this. Many other questions you can ask. So when did the residual fear come to him? That was when he was swimming in the lake and he opened his eyes. He saw only bottomless water and then fear came to him. What did he tell to fear? He told that, Mr. Terror, what do you think of you? What do you think that you can do to me? That is an example for auto-suggestion. So like that you can ask simple questions. I think that you have enjoyed my classes, deep water and a deep water and then deep experience. So the experience of dying, experience of the terror of fear. And how did he conquer that? By determination. Determination alone will not do. Many people are like, I know many students. When they go to bed, they will have a lot of good decisions and determination. Determination. Next morning, it will just disappear. Just as the fog disappears when the sun rises. That's should be like that. Your dream should be followed by actions, plan of action. Put that plan of action into execute it, so to say. So, translate your dreams into actions, then follow it up, and continue it. Have have the power to continue in what you are doing. Do it again and again. Another word for that is practice. Practice, practice, practice till you are perfect. And then you become a whatever you are. Swimmer, violinist, vocalist, then driver. Yes, why not? It's a skill. Teacher, then what else? Pilot. So I think that the lesson that you should take with you is, I have conquered my fear of water. And this experience had a deep meaning for me. By